everybody, Bernie Garland. We're having fun this morning. And the name of the program is The IRS Fix, brought to you by the Garland Group. And we're going to talk about a blueprint. Okay, so you have a drywall and you have the foundation. Is that the blueprint we're talking about?
Sure.
Thanks a lot, Tim. The blueprint is what we call, what does the IRS know about you? Now, why is it important? Mr. Timothy Berry, who's a noted tax attorney, why is the information that the IRS has on the taxpayer very important?
Well, you know, it's kind of like playing poker with somebody and knowing exactly what's inside their hand. The IRS keeps all sorts of information about you, and we can gain that information by requesting their transcripts, but also some super secret stuff, kind of, that you get from the Freedom of Information Act. So now we file under the Freedom of Information Act and get all the information that they have about you and your tax situation. Now whenever it comes time to clean up your situation, we know exactly what they know, we know exactly what they're looking for, and we can make sure everything is in full compliance.
That is correct. The other thing is that one of the things that people overlook, and I think the most tax preparers who run into people who haven't filed in several years, they overlook that at some point in time the IRS isn't looking for you anymore because you kind of like dropped off, like maybe 10 years ago or 8 years ago. So one of the advantages of getting this blueprint, or what we call what does the IRS know about you, is that we can tell what year we need to start with. In addition to that, by the way, the IRS, under this concept that we have developed, also supplies us what they have on record of what you've earned over the years.
Absolutely, and let's go kind of to the flip side of what you talked about. We can see if they stopped looking at you. Can we see with these transcripts if they're going to put you under a microscope?
That is correct, and they tell what years, and there's a certain code number that says that the year is still open. And then there's something marvelous, gone to retention. That means they're not looking for you. So you don't have to, again, we're not telling you not to file tax returns. We're saying that the IRS is not looking for you for certain years when they say gone to retention. But they supply the information to what years they're looking for, and, by the way, what you've earned in those years. And also another significant factor is whether or not the IRS did a substitute return on you, so that we can counteract through what we call audit reconsideration.
Yeah, and a substitutes returns whenever the IRS says, hey, we waited long enough, we're going to file a return on your behalf, and they just, I won't even say the words of what they do to you with that tax return. So summing everything up, you wouldn't want to build a house without a blueprint.
Without a blueprint.
Why try to fix a tax problem without getting the Freedom of Information Act information from the IRS?
You know, it's like going to a doctor, and you walk into the doctor and say, okay, what's wrong with me? He says, well, wait a minute. First of all, I got to take your blood pressure. I got to get an MRI. I got to get blood work and everything like that. I said, wait a minute, you're a doctor, don't you know? He said, no, I need these pieces of information. This is like his blueprint. So if you want to know what the IRS knows about you, if you're having trouble with the IRS and you're just sitting there going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, we can, under the Freedom of Information Act, get a whole bunch of information that tells us what they know about you and what we should do to correct the issue.
And as they say,
it's a wrap.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.